Hey, Midnight Sun here. I wanted to point out to all of you guys that in the following videos that I'm going to be doing for the 1 to 70 guide, there is going to be no more altar in the game for you guys to practice if you wanted to practice and follow along with those videos. The reason I did the video with the altar in the previous season active was to try and get as close to what it would be like during the season as possible. However, that's obviously not going to be a complete one-to-one guide. And in terms of you guys practicing right now, you're going to miss out on a lot of the benefits of the altar and the visions. Now, there is some ways that you can utilize that and do that even here right now, which is using a gem of ease if you have one, but you have to get it to rank 120 or rank 25, and that would only work for one item. So this is a level 70 item. If I put a gem of ease in here in the socket slot, it would make it required level 1, so I could equip it on each class if I wanted to. But that's not going to be very good for doing a whole 70 gear item. So again, I'm really sorry about, the videos that I made being kind of a little bit earlier, and it took me a long time to get through the editing with work and schedule and stuff to get them put out. So they are just kind of give you an idea of what it would look like in this season. And with this season being the Soul Shard season, there is a bit of a caveat in those videos. These 1 to 70 guides that I've been showing you guys, I've been utilizing the 1 to 18 method by going through Runes of Sescheron there and getting the cube first and then getting 18 in order to get a gem from each of these bosses over here. And with the next season having a chance to drop a Soul Shard gem from the bosses, it would make the most sense to straight up run Zoltan Cool. So just go straight to Zoltan Cool and kill him over and over again in the hopes that he drops a Soul Shard. However, I am not sure what level the Soul Shards drop at. I heard they can be dropping at level 1. I don't know if there's an increased likelihood of that happening later on, and I don't know how feasible that's going to be. So I don't know if I run into Zoltan Cool and you get lucky and you get the Soul Shard right away. You can scrap that to get a Marquise, I believe, or an Imperial gem, which would satisfy the altar requirements of having a gem above a Flawless Diamond. So you could theoretically go straight there and do that and get the gem, and you would have the Blacksmith leveled up if you're using the cash for the start of the season there, which would allow you to craft level 70 gear straight at level 1. Now, in the 1 to 70 guides that I'm going to be showing you guys here, I do start out at level 1 for each of those things, so it doesn't really matter too much, but could be an option for you guys there if you want to start the season. Again, I'm not sure how reliable that method's going to be. I think most of the classes did it pretty fast, getting to 18 and then going through and getting the gems from the Rift Guardians or the Rift bosses or whatever you call these bounty bosses over there. And then the other reason is that in the 1 to 18 guide, I talked about the items you get from Kadala. And one of the subscribers pointed out that something that I can do is just gamble on a non-seasonal class, and it would tell me what item requirement it is there. And I did not think of that at the time. That makes sense. And I recommended saying level 12 for most of the items. It's actually level 16, so it'll be a little bit further along in order to equip those items actually on your character. So keep that in mind if you're trying to follow the guides. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy the following videos. Midnight Sun here, and we're going to be leveling up the Crusader today. This is the 1 to 70 guide, or the 18 to 70 guide if you're following through with the last one. I went ahead and gambled with Kadala here, and you can see that I got my bracers nice and early this time after just a couple tries at Kadala. And then the shields were taking forever to the point where I was losing hope, but I did manage to get the Guard of Johanna. So we'll be leveling up with those today. I do have several items on my gear here from the blacksmith, and I explained in all of the other videos, or the previous video I should say, how to get through these items. So I will try and link that to the beginning of this video so you guys can take a look at the strategy for that. So it all begins the same way. And then we're going to go ahead and extract this Blessed Hammer. Hits 3 or fewer enemies, and 94% of its wrath cost is refunded. So, scratch that. We have to upgrade our weapon. So we're going to upgrade the one-handed flail for us here. So let's see what we got. Okay, we got casting concentration, also cast concentration beneath all of your allies. So not the best, but it's going to be a decent damage boost for us. So we're going to go ahead and keep that on our character here. And then, like I said, we're going to extract this. So we're going to throw that in. And there we go. So that'll help us out with our Wrath. And we're going to go ahead and throw that on our character here as well. This is a level 70 shield, so we could save that if we wanted to. I'm just going to go ahead and salvage everything. And we're going to go over to Temple of the Firstborn. And we have our timer up from our previous guy, so let's reset it. And let's see how long the Crusader takes this time.
I have heard troubling news. Another cult has emerged in the shadows. There is no end to the number of rituals.
All right.
These cultists
So we're already level 11, and we're gonna have to stop for a second here and switch out some of our skills. And I just want to make sure I get a decent amount of levels on me right there. So we're gonna go with 53 and stop for a second after killing these enemies. There we go. All right. So now we can start switching things out, and we're gonna go ahead and put on Smite to maintain our kill streaks. And then we got Blessed Hammer, which is gonna be our main way of dealing damage here. And also, let's see, we're gonna go ahead and put on Steed Charge. And we'll throw on Consecration because we have it, so why not? But I don't anticipate me using it all that often. And then lastly, we want our Laws of Valor, so we're going to throw that on there. And we'll just leave that blank for now. This will allow us to put a two-handed weapon in our main hand. So alternatively for the Crusader in the beginning, as long as you get 1 or 2 levels, you could try and put a two-handed weapon and upgrade it and use that instead. I went with the one-handed weapons just because I was hoping to get something else, but I didn't. So this time we're going to go ahead and get this one right here, Fanaticism. And then our second one, we're gonna get increased life regeneration, and we might switch to the Wrath depending on how our Wrath is looking. So now we're just gonna be able to hold down our, let's see, what is this called? Blessed Hammer, which is getting boosted by our ability, and call it good. This should be nice and easy for leveling. And again, we just got to sit here and hold this down. So our Wrath is looking pretty good, and part of that is because as we gain levels here, we're going to be able to get some of our Wrath back. Or sorry, is that what this is called? Yeah, Wrath. And we just let the hammers do all of the work, which is nice and fun. All right, we have 6 seconds left on our timer, so we're gonna have to get ready to move here in a minute. Just gonna go ahead and glide down. And again, if you've seen my other videos, you know that this is the only time I recommend going through the visions until you are comfortable farming on the whatever difficulty or level you're on. And we don't really care too much about the beginning here. We're just gonna move from level to level. Now, typically, you would actually stop and pick up all of the items that are in here. Now, I would do that after you've dropped your Massacre. So once you dropped your Massacre, there's no reason to continue maintaining it because there's not a lot of enemies in here. Or typically, I guess there's not a lot of enemies in here. That's that Consecration on the ground there. Decided to activate it for fun. And again, we're trying to hit 400. Hammers. So we're starting to already take some time to kill the enemies. Alright, should be enough to get 400 in here. There's 400. And the best thing you can get in the beginning here is one that's only like 3-4 visions deep or so, because as you can see, I've got a lot of health and a lot of damage, and I'm still kind of struggling to kill the enemies in here. It's taking a little bit longer than I would like.
Patience.
So far, no legendaries have dropped, which I'm a little surprised. I feel like typically you would get 1 or 2 of them by now. We still have no sign of the end.
Have been sighted in the lands bordering Scarsdale. Some say they are part
Alright.
and part wolf. But I
And we got the Rift Guardians. This would be incredibly dangerous and not something that I would recommend you do. As soon as I walked through here and saw the Rift Guardians, I'd probably dip out of here, to be honest. So, not a whole lot we can do about that. Now, luckily, with our current skills and attacks, we're doing fine. And if I drop this massacre bonus, then this is actually going to completely take these guys out. So that's the only reason I'm staying here and fighting this guy. In fact, we'll show you that. Let's drop the massacre bonus here, if it'll let me. There we go. And now if I start fighting, you can see that its health is going down significantly more if I could stand next to it. And that's because I gained so much levels that I gained a little bit more damage here, and these guys stayed the same. Here I am, just pushing random buttons on accident. There we go. So we got a few items here. Let's go ahead and take a peek at them. Alright, Leoric's Signet. Now that doesn't have any legendary ability on it, so it's not very useful. It does give you a little bit more experience, that 22% experience there. So that's kind of nice. Vigilante Belt is absolutely great. It says while Steed Charge is active, Fist of the Heavens deals increased damage equal to your movement speed and is automatically called down on a random enemy at an interval based on your attack speed. It is on your action bar. That's a big chunk of description there. And with the flails, this would be something would be great if I leveled up into the correct flail, which would have been one-handed flail, and gotten Dark Light. Then this Vigilante Belt would have carried me very, very far into the game, probably up to Torment 11 or 12 with just that. So let's see what we got here for the pants. We got Hammer Jammers. Enemies take 335% increased damage from your Blessed Hammers for 10 seconds after you hit them with a blind, immobilize, or stun. So another boost to our Blessed Hammers, which is great. So as long as we're hitting them with a blind, immobilize, or stun, we're going to deal even more damage, which is awesome. Now I'm just going to see how I'm doing for damage in here, if this is looking too dangerous or not. And I thought it would be. So there's the damage there. And you can see how I can't probably complete this because it's just going to get harder and harder as I go through. Now, if I was actually a little bit more careful here, I could still probably do this and get through, but it's going to take so much time to actually fight and kill all of these enemies that it's just not going to be worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and let them kill me here. I'm going to revive in town, exit the game, and now we're ready to drop difficulty on the Crusader.
Nothing stops the crusade.
Nothing stops the Crusade. All right, and again, ideally we want Torment 4. I'm going to drop down to Torment 2 after I get above level 50, just because it feels a little bit more comfortable, and I like to take a peek in those visions. It's really hard to resist them. But depending on, how your character's doing, you could probably do Torment 4 the difficulty here, but we'll stick with this because I don't know how beneficial the Shards of Hatred are. Or Souls of Hatred, or whatever it is they're called. Soul Shards, I'm pretty sure. Open up.
Not yet. Had enough.
Again, make sure you keep an eye on the timer here, because once it starts to get below 5 seconds, that's when you might need to carry some of these enemies to the next direction. Once you kill the last one here and you stop, if you don't have teleport or nearby enemies, it's going to be difficult. So like here's when I'm going to start moving in the other direction and see if I can drag a couple of these guys with me. As you can see, there wasn't really anybody nearby. So we managed to continue our massacre bonus there.
Patience.
And I made a mistake right there because I thought I had some more teleports on me.
Had enough.
Here's where I play Ring Around the Rosie, because typically if you walk around the edge of this, you'll get more bugs spawning in.
I require more wrath.
There's an example of some of those guys. And we're at 400, so now we don't gotta worry too much even if we do drop it. We'll go ahead and take a peek in here, because again, that's the reason why I dropped the difficulty. You can see that now we're still killing enemies relatively easily. And we're hoping for some items to craft some stuff with, and we're hoping for legendaries. There we have one. I think that's Flesh Render or something like that, which isn't the best. This also will allow us to continue our massacre a little bit more. So if I can keep this going, if this is a long one and I do a very good job, I might be able to get this up to like a 600 massacre bonus here. It doesn't give me any more than the 400 massacre bonus does, but it's kind of fun to see what your highest massacre that you can achieve is. Running low on Wrath here. Alright, this is the end. It's not the long one like I would like.
My wrath is low.
Also, this guy, Blood Maw here, can absolutely one-shot you unexpectedly, so be wary of him. Sometimes as soon as I see him, I just dip out. I don't want to deal with him. Great. Couple more to go here. Another Greater Rift Key.
Akarat be praised.
62. That's perfect. I don't know where the goblin went. I was not paying attention to him whatsoever. Alright, he's hanging out by the exit. Okay, we got 6 for the bounty materials there.
I'm returning to town.
And we're going to go ahead and exit and come back in. Again, we're hoping we can get straight to 70 here with this last push. I doubt it. We might have to reset it again one more time. I don't need to change the difficulties.
Make your peace quick.
Alright, that's exactly where I want to be for damage. I'm at the point where the bug should start to take a few hits to kill. But as long as they follow me, they'll stack up and die pretty often. So that's perfect. So as long as I keep moving in a direction while hitting them with something that's like area damaged focused like that, they should die. And the elites should take a little bit longer to kill now, maybe a few seconds. As long as they don't have a chance to kill me, I don't mind if I can't even take out the elites as well. Did I push that curse chest? We got some death breath on the ground. That's great. That would allow us to extract another item, which I would do for the I remember what I already extracted. It's like I need something that's a weapon, so probably the shield. Or does that count as armor? I'm actually not familiar with that. Wow, that was a long space with no enemies. There's a resplendent chest, which we would typically check.
I enjoyed that. Not ready yet.
Whoops.
Akarat favors me.
That was a huge mistake.
Blessings of the light. Burn in the light. Not yet.
I missed out on an 8 times experience boost there. Instead, I got a 7 times boost.
Not enough round.
Alright, again, we could check this. That is not ideal. Oops. Didn't mean to bring up my Paragon. But, as you can see, it is empty, so...
I require more round. Heal me.
Oh, double? That's crazy. I'm not gonna deal with that.
Patience.
So this is one of those areas that doesn't have as many bugs as I would like.
Enough round.
It's just gonna be this long hallway here.
Had enough. My wrath is low.
Alright.
I need to go back.
I was really hoping that hammer would kill that. Okay, let's try and get another 400 and see if we can do this in time. I believe we should be going about pace with the barbarian.
I enjoyed that.
Okay, now we're no longer going to go in the Visions of Enmity. We could still check the first one and see if there's like a goblin level, for example, and then head out. However, it would be kind of difficult to take out the goblins anyway, so I choose not to check them because I hate feeling like I'm missing out on goblins, if that makes sense.
I require more round. Not enough round. Like chaff before the wind. I require more wrath.
Now that we're no longer gaining levels, our wrath is feeling a little bit low. This might be something where I would go in and change the passive here just to give us a bit of a boost.
My wrath is low. Burn in the light.
Just worried about that.
Had enough.
Alright, gotta be careful here. Sometimes I go down this hallway and there's nothing, so I try and drag everything with me.
Power before Zakarum.
Alright, we're hitting pretty close to our 400 goal here.
Not enough wrath.
And just a heads up, guys, if you wanted to, at this point, you've probably got enough extra veiled crystals and the likes to enchant your gear. So if something's feeling a little clunky or slow, you can go ahead and look through your gear and see if you need any like extra strength, if you need any extra vitality because you feel like you're dying, or get rid of some skills that aren't really used anymore. So if you see something on here for like smite and that's not your main damaging weapon, then or main damaging skill, and then you can get rid of that. Try and roll on Blessed Hammer. All right, slow down here for a second. There we go. Managed to carry through.
I require more rats.
All right. Do we think this is enough? Let's see.
My faith is rewarded.
68.5. Oh man, these last levels feel like they take forever. Let's see here. Not really what I wanted to do. I'm gonna go to the Halls of Agony.
My wrath is low.
And if I'm just comparing the time it takes to get the massacre going here, the Halls of Agony is definitely slower. Like I said, it's nice that the enemies are here, so it's a little bit easier maintaining your massacre, but it's just not as fast or as quick.
I need healing. Not ready yet. Strength is restored.
All right, 200 and then stop.
Bad luck for you, friend.
Ah, man, can you just kill me?
Heal me.
There we go.
Akarat favors me.
Okay, 69.5 or 69.25, maybe a third about probably. We'll go ahead and leave game and come back in for one final run. Looking like Torment 2 is going to be a bit of a challenge unless we tweak our gear a little bit here. So I would probably, for the Crusader, stick around Torment 1. If you're on Hardcore, maybe even drop it down to Master difficulty as well.
My wrath is low.
Come this way. Right, you're frozen. Of course you are.
Not enough wrath. Light be damned.
Okay, we're gonna try and go for 200 here and then stop.
My wrath is low. Patience. Had enough.
Hopefully these bugs out here will spawn in.
Not enough wrath.
Ugh, hate those barriers. Okay, Pool of Reflection might do it here.
I grow weak. Like chaff before the wind. I require more rats.
All right. Go away.
I'm returning to town.
That's got to be it. There we go. 70. All right, so we did this one in 25 minutes and 3 seconds. So I think it's a little bit longer than the Barbarian there. I don't remember picking this up or getting this. That's interesting. It's Darklight. So that would have been absolutely phenomenal, especially with their Vigilante build that we got there. I'd probably switch my entire playstyle over to Fist of the Heavens. So not sure. I'm going to have to look back at the replay there and see when I actually picked that up. But anyway, I hope this was a nice video for you guys to watch here with the Crusader here. I don't like the Crusader as much as the other classes. It's definitely a little bit slower for me. Once I get that Fist of the Heavens and the Vigilante belt, though, then it's absolutely one of my favorite classes of all time. It's got some of the most fun leveling that I've ever done on here as well. So it's kind of a mixed bag for me. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.